We have not given these children the opportunity to be able to even think there's possibilities outside of what they're living in right now. And that's unacceptable. Absolutely just unacceptable.
Child Protective Services in the state of Texas is messy, and it has been for decades. Low pay, high caseloads, and emotional stress that can last a lifetime. But there is a special class of children who keep the caseworkers up at night.
It is a broken system, and I could not stomach any more of it.
These women are talking about the nearly 70 children, mainly teenagers, in the system the state of Texas has labeled children without placement. It's the group of kids who have no parents, no foster family, and no facility that will take them. That's because their behavioral issues are too severe. But CPS has no choice but to handle them.
If we don't care for these children now, we will suffer the effects of that later.
Cheryl Becker, Christy Carrington, and Cheryl Guthrie Kimball all spent their careers with Child Protective Services and recently retired. They want you to know it is time we take care of these children and the CPS workers who might be a child's only hope.
I'm concerned that the community is not fully aware of what happens with these youth when they're in hotels or when they're on the streets.
A year and a half ago, these same children who could not be placed in foster care were sleeping in CPS offices. But you heard right. The state actually started renting motel rooms, any rooms they could find for these children, at a moment's notice. And CPS workers have to watch them day and night.
They would, set off the alarms in the rooms. They would throw food. They would break furniture. They would go downstairs in the lobby and, create confusion in the lobby.
We have children with actual diagnosed mental health issues. So we've had children 12 years old having psychotic breaks, because of everything that has happened to them.
And they say that a motel, a business with other paying customers, just isn't where you care for a traumatized child.
So you're in a hotel and your child is in the lobby having a total meltdown, unsafe to themselves, unsafe to anybody around them. Well, as a hotel owner, you're going to say, please leave.
It's not always experienced caseworkers caring for these children. These three women say it might be an office clerk or a driver who transports children because caseworkers are overworked and leaving their state jobs.
They're falling asleep while they're supposed to be watching these children. Why? Because they just got off from work from 8 to 5, and now they're at a hotel at 6 p.m., and they're expected to be awake, alert.
According to CPS, anyone caring for children does get training, but these longtime caseworkers say it is not nearly enough.
When you're being spit on, when you're being cussed out, when you're being, getting ready to be assaulted.
When you're watching these children sleep, at the end of the day, they're children. They're children. Have you had that moment, that breakdown moment?
All the time.
Absolutely.
Crying to my staff, crying to my program directors. Oh my God, y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm helpless. I don't know what to do to help you. I'll cover your shift. I'll buy the groceries. I'll do whatever you need. Just tell me what you need.
In a statement, CPS told us reducing the number of children and young people without placement remains a top priority for them.
We've been begging and pleading for help.
Help that is estimated to cost about $45 million over 2 years. That's how much money the Department of Family and Protective Services has requested from lawmakers to handle these children without placement.
It's a failed mandate. Our job is to protect the unprotected, and we're not doing it.
All three women believe it is time the legislature fund a facility and appropriately trained staff to handle children who the world has labeled as damaged.
I want them to hear that these children are not disposable. These are our responsibility to take care of these children. These children have come from horrible environments.
The governor, lieutenant governor, and the Speaker of the House all have influence over what legislation gets passed this session. But so far, the state's foster care system has not been earmarked as a priority issue. The session ends May 29th. If you want change, contact your lawmaker.